Hey guys, welcome back. On this episode of ProNoobRC, we finally got our hands on something we've wanted for many years, but was out of the realm of being realistically affordable, minus the $100,000 worth of RCs we have over there. But hey, this one was a little dark. These things were a little too expensive. We actually got our hands on a hydraulic RC excavator from HUINA RC. I don't know if I'm saying that right. HUINA. This is the 336GC by HUINA. All metal. Beautiful unit. So let's get into it. Case, by the way, it's got these little latches on the top. Pop them open. Nice little storage travel case. Very cool. Everything fits nice. So these guys open up. And you got the manual. You got this big lithium ion 10,000 milliamp 7.2 volt battery. Little fill schnozzle. And in this nicely packaged jug, we got some, I think they call it number 45 hydraulic oil, so I don't know why they numbered that way. This box here, you'll have the charger for the battery. That's a simple bounce plug charger. And here you have the FlySky, I believe it's a FlySky radio. This will be our first, so pull that out, check that out. So, okay, so along with the contents in the box, of course, you get this radio. I'm thinking it's a FlySky. I've seen a lot of people refer to it as FlySky, but I'm sorry guys, I don't know enough about them, so it's got a cool radio. It is touchscreen. It's got some cool features, like 2 power buttons here. You have to hold both of them down to power up the radio. Pretty cool features. I was shocked to see it actually is a touchscreen. I seen guys saying it was, so that's pretty cool. Pretty basic menu down there. You've got the monitor, so you can see what's moving and such like that. Besides this is your 2 joysticks. These are your track drives up here, and this one is for your lights so far. There is also 2 buttons on the back. It's kind of cool. So yeah, pretty cool. Everything else seems to be turned off on it right now. And it is a 10-channel radio. That's pretty decent. Yeah, 10-channel. Pretty cool radio. So let's get into the manual for the K336 hydraulic excavator operating instruction about inappropriate use of this product. I love it. Love it! Do not disassemble, modify, or change. That is inappropriate behavior.
Don't change it.
Don't change. So inside here, it gives you your basic breakdown and all your components of the vehicle. We'll get the truck, or we'll get the equipment out of the box, we'll show you. Very simple. Like we said, it's really only the sticks, these 2 little wheels on the top for your track drives, and just your light switch. So really nothing for controls, super simple. There's really not much it talks about in here. We all know how to charge a battery at this point. Plug it in, plug in the wall, lights do some stuff. When they're done doing other things, then they're good, right? The important thing is when you get to this page here, what you're going to want to look for when you're getting anything that's hydraulic is the recommended amount of hydraulic oil number 45 to add to it. So, okay, so yeah, to explain this part of the manual, it's just basically telling you to check your oil level like your any vehicle, car, lawnmower like that. It's got a dipstick. You want to make sure that your oil is at your maximum oil level when operating at all times. When you first fire up the vehicle, I would recommend just making sure it's in between the maximum and the minimum. Cycle it a little bit, shut it off, and then test and see where it's at. You don't want to overfill the system and make a big mess inside the vehicle, so you just want to make sure you don't overfill it. When the vehicle comes packaged, the arms curled, so all your hydraulics on the top and the front are extended and full, so you just don't want to put too much in it, basically. So just take extra time on that step, but make sure you do have oil in there before you fire the pump up dry. And then the manual just goes into the basic operation, which runs like a full-size excavator. The controls are set up true, which is nice. And yeah, if you guys are in Europe and you want to change the controls to the European style, all you have to do is pop a couple plugs on the receiver around. Very simple to do. I think RC Construction and Hobby has a video on it. Go check that out. He already took his apart. So, okay, so let's get into this thing. Again, 2 clips on the top. Oh, it's been too long. No, joking. Ooh-wee. So there's a unit there. All metal, metal tracks, metal everything, minus of course the seat on the interior. This interior is fully detailed with decals and such. Looks really good. Got a large beefy bucket on it, nice big tooth on it. I'm going to try to get this out of here without knocking the radio on the floor. There is these bars with the mirrors on both sides. They are plastic, and you want to make sure as you're taking it out the first time you don't hook that one and break it off. I did that on my other excavator, taking it out of the box, so that kind of sucked. There they are there, those bars there. You want to go easy on that. So, yeah, cool. Very cool. So like I said, it's been many years. I've always wanted the hydraulic unit, but the price is, you know, $7,000, $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 for us in Canada. It's a little stupid. We just can't justify that. This guy came out from Eliminator RC, where we picked it up in Winnipeg. They're $21.99 Canadian. So if you're picking one up from them, even down in the States, with the exchange, you're going to pick it up for less than $2 grand, and plus your shipping to get it down there. So you'd be getting a probably even better deal than we got on it. So yeah, in the back here, you've got your big battery door. There's 2 plugs inside. I don't know, can you see those? There's 2 plugs in there. One's obviously for the battery. The other one's for a bind plug if you lose your bind on the radio, which is nice that they put that extension in there. You don't have to take off the whole cab to get in there. Oh, little power button. Here's a little silver guy right here. That puts power to the unit. And she goes. The oil cap is right here. And the dipstick would be on the end of the oil cap. I'll get it level again before I pull that open. It does have lights in the top of the cab, I believe, and up here in the top. And actually, the wires they ran to them are really nice and small. They're not ugly. They're not too big. Very nice. It's got cable hose clamps that go around the cylinder to keep the hoses retained as they pass by them, so they're not just getting, you know, they're not hanging out, which is really nice to see. I know a lot of guys, not one guy, but a lot of guys are going to the hard hose. So these are all plumbed steel pipes, and then they have just a joint for that part, like this is the part here, and it looks fantastic. But that is a lot of work to throw into it right off the bat. We're gonna have some fun actually to run this thing. Like we said, it's been 10 years we've been wanting to get one, and now there's one that's actually, you know, somewhat affordable. So the bucket's really nice. I didn't expect it to be so big. It's a lot bigger than the HUINA 580. Yeah, nice big brushless swing motor. It's got 3 wires, so I would say that's brushless. Brushless swing motor in the middle. This rig you can do 360 rotation from what I've seen. I haven't taken it apart to see if it has one of those ring couplers with the contacts inside of it. I don't know if it does, or they're just twisting the hell out of the wires for the track drives. But you've only got the track drives. The tracks are really aggressive on this one compared to the 580, which they're pretty smooth. Yeah, awesome. I'll grab the 580 really quick before we fire this thing up, and we'll just do a quick comparison to kind of see what you get for 1,000 versus 2,000. Okay, so this is the first really nice excavator RC that we got our hands on. This is the HUINA 1580 or 580, whatever they call it. We do have the cat graphics that we picked up off a place on Etsy that was selling them for cheap. And this guy is also all metal tracks, but you can see the difference right away in the tread on the tracks. They're very tight together, not really aggressive compared to these guys with a big open gap, much bigger tread, much bigger everything altogether. The size of the vehicle, this side of the new one is close, but a lot larger. It's got a lot longer boom. Everything's bigger. The booms are bigger, longer, bucket's bigger, everything, so he's going to dig a lot better, a lot deeper. This guy does have a bucket that we got off of eBay with these nice changeable blades and all welded on teeth and stuff. It's not the cast one. We painted the ESCO. We actually sandblasted that in there and then painted that red. This guy uses the screw type, servo driven screw type jack, so he's a little bit slower and a lot weaker compared to this guy. So he's still going to get used a lot, but this guy's obviously going to be taking over the big stuff. So yeah, so the 580 is still a great machine, you guys. Still both same company. Heavy steel, which is nice. It keeps them planted when you're digging. The plastic ones we have, they don't dig well, and they just drag themselves forward instead of digging. So fantastic unit, but yeah, we just wanted to show you that for comparison. So yeah, it is time now to light this guy up, put some power to him. Okay, so we got a fresh set of batteries in the radio, no messing around, no mix and matching. We put the battery on a full fresh charge, and we need to check the hydraulic tank fluid levels. That's right, Dito. So here we have our little tiny dipstick. There's a notch cut into the side of it right there, so you guys can, so we can see the levels. I'm gonna grab a rag, wipe that clean. I'm gonna grab a rag. Okay, so we got the dipstick nice and clean. We're gonna put that in, and you're gonna thread it all the way back down, because when you measure something, you measure it with a closed system, not an open system. Okay, so I checked the dipstick, and one thing you have to watch for is it was picking up a little bit of oil off the edge, so you just gotta make sure the dipstick was wet all the way around, which it wasn't, which tells us it's not the proper amount of oil. I wish this tube was bent. There's a little O-ring on the bottom of this dipstick. You wanna make sure you don't go down too tight and crush it. And you also want to make sure you don't lose it. So we're going to run it for a few seconds, shut it off, and then check the oil on it, make sure everything is good. Last thing we want to do is burn up a pump on a toy we've been waiting for 10 years to be able to get our hands on. Now it's time we can safely put the battery in. They give you this nice red tag because it is a tight fit inside that hole, and you do want to make sure you leave that accessible so you can get that back out after. Leave the tag out, good to go. Grab your radio, both power buttons, lights are up, radio's good to go. Now we can, so now on the radio we have transmitter voltage, receiver voltage. So if that's receivers here, transmitter here, very cool. So we'll start with the base functions. We have the switch I discussed as the headlights. We've got the 2 lamps up in here, 2 really tiny lamps up in there, and then we got the 2 work lights up here. Very nice, very cool. And you can also angle these work lights if you want down a little bit. There's just single bolt, which is a nice option, so we can turn it down. If it doesn't turn, we can make it turn, so that's cool. So main boom on this guy would be this arm up, and when you pull it, it's going to spin the hydraulic pump and open up the servo for that actuator and send the fluid to those hydraulics. Very cool. The same right stick will do your bucket. This will be curl out, curl in. And then we obviously have the swing. And we can go right around with the swing, which is nice. And it's a good speed. That's pretty stale. Yeah, definitely good. And then we have the aft arm on the other. So now we've ran everything. I'm going to put all my cylinders at about halfway. And I'm going to open up that hydraulic tank and I'm going to check on that fluid. And if it's all bubbly and foamy, we're going to know that it's really low and it was cavitating and we missed our mark. So we got our functions working. It sounds a little chunky. It is an outrunner brushless motor, so it sounds a little chunky when you actuate it. Running really good though. Nice and strong, quick. No complaints with that. The track drives here, and they're actually proportional. You can go slow or fast. You can go real slow or go fast. You can go both directions. Get a proper spin out of it. Crawl it around. So, very cool. But it's so cool having the hydraulics. It's something we've wanted for a long time. So yeah, this guy just needs a little bit of cycling, a little bit of driving around, and we're gonna get good at running it, and we'll get back some videos of it outside running with the other equipment. Yeah, I really got to work on that mix there. Everything else is running fine except for that one mix I'm not happy with, so we're going to learn how to do that. Big dream of ours to get this, you guys. Check them out. We got this, of course, at Eliminator RC. Remember, use our ProNoobRC promo code or coupon code on checkout. Yeah, so check them out, eliminatorrc.com. Check out their web store. And KABOLITE HUINA 336GC, definitely a win. Such a cool unit. Yeah, we're gonna get this guy, get some practice in with it, and yeah, we'll get some cool videos. Thanks, guys, checking it out. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, so we ended up not using their bottle and their filling straw. It was not working well. The dripping and the messing around and the wasting time just sucked. We grabbed one of these syringes we had from the dog's medication for his ears, actually, and just used that to blast oil into the tank, and it worked fantastic. Very hard to get an accurate reading off of this dipstick. Not really the biggest fan of it. I might sandblast it so it's not so shiny, just so it's a little bit more coarse so we can actually get a better reading. And the tank has a tube that goes in most of the way down. I guess the oil doesn't slosh up out of there, but the stick rubs all the way over that tube up and down, so it's really, really hard to get an accurate reading. So